The Detroit Sports Zone was founded by former Harlem Globetrotter Ernest Wagner as a way to promote the importance of sports for young people. Each year, the organization honors outstanding athletes who attended Detroit public high schools and supporters who have made major contributions to athletics. The honorees are inducted into the Detroit Sports Zone High School Hall of Fame. In addition, 4 students will receive scholarships at this year's ceremony. Here to tell us more are Detroit Sports Zone board members, Chairman Phillip Talbert, Brenda Gatlin, Michael Price, and Laval Perry, who is a 2017 Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you.
Welcome to American Black Journal.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good. Let me tell you what. Everyone in Detroit, or who watches this show, not everyone has heard of the Detroit Sports Zone. So let's just start there. Talk a little bit more about how it was founded and how do you get into this Hall of Fame, Michael?
In 2013, I was invited by Phillip Talbert, by Miller London, and some other luminaries that form the board to come on to work with making sure that our history was displayed properly. Mm-hmm. There's never been a high school Hall of Fame in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And so the beginnings were humble. I can remember Gladys Bettis, Jerome Bettis' mom was on board, Baby G. Joshua, our evangelist. A couple other people were involved, but essentially a host of good people whose mind, whose love, whose spirit is all about Detroit, and in conveying our history to our young people.
Okay, so Hall of Fame, how do you get into it? You want to talk about that, Laval?
Well, I think there's a criteria that is being used to induct the honorees, and basically it's accomplishments and also their involvement in the community and what they have done in terms of giving back to some kind of civic organizations as well. And the panel that actually makes the selection is about a 10, 12 member panel, and it's a very, very complex, tedious type of selection process. But the members, or I should say the honorees, potential honorees, are sent into this actual group of people, and then the selection is made based on those criteria. And
so it's not just I was a great track star or I was a great basketball player. You gotta, do a little more than that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Part of it is that they have to be either an All-American, they had to have exhibited some great skill sets, but also even after they've had their career, they also have to show that they have been community connected and community involved.
And also outstanding coaches are inducted.
Absolutely.
I was, and not saying any humbly, one of the first recipients of the Hall of Fame back in 2012, along with Jerome Bettis. So, right. So we also include basketball coaches or football coaches in general.
Now, I've seen a list, and some of the people on the list, though, Mike, didn't go to Detroit high schools. Am I right here?
Well, there is an award, generally the Lewis Colson Award, who was our first president who has gone to heaven, or the Chairman's Award, which features outstanding accomplishments by persons who've given a lot to Detroit and to the high schools, but not necessarily attended these schools. So they may be coaches, they may have been principals, they may have been any number of quality people, but other than that, the criteria is you attended a Detroit public school.
So, Laval, talk to us. Tell us, who are some of, we know Brenda Gatlin,
back in the day.
Who else are some of the people in the Hall of Fame? Just give us a little taste.
Well, we've had Wilbur McCormick was inducted in the Hall of Fame. We've had Randy Henry.
And who's Randy Henry? Not everyone knows.
Randy Henry is from Detroit McKenzie, played Illinois State, a good friend of mine, and we've competed over the years, and has been a very good role model for youngsters in the area today. and it was a pleasure having him come in. That was before my time being involved in the organization, but Randy is truly an example of what we look for in an athlete to become a part of this organization.
Randy right now is the tallest news director in America.
And our MC, right?
All right.
This year.
And he is our MC
Our
for
master
this
of
year.
ceremonies.
MC for this year. So, Talbert, Mr. Talbert,
Yes, ma'am.
this is this Hall of Fame, the scholarships. It's not just, you know, sports enthusiasts getting together and working on this. There are some other collaborations that contribute to the Sports Zone.
Absolutely. We look at this event being a mechanism in which we honor our past, but we want to celebrate our future. So a part of that is building collaborations and relationships with other entities and organizations. As an entity, we've had an opportunity to work with the Quicken Loan Sports Zone that has been downtown. We had a 3-year collaboration with them. We've collaborated with the Detroit Recreation Department, but even going beyond that, we collaborate with events by having presence for the Detroit Sports Zone. There was a recent event called Motor City Muscle Rock and Roll Festival and Muscle Car Festival. We were the nonprofit partner for that event. We've been a nonprofit partner with Wayne County Parks and Rec at their Jazz on the River and their Motown on the River. So our board feels our best mechanism is to get the word out about Detroit Sports Zone.
The Detroit Sports Zone this year is giving away scholarships, $1,000 scholarships.
Yes.
Now, these students are high school students and college students.
Some of them are moving into the collegiate arena. Our first, of course, Jerome Bettis, our 2012 Hall of Fame awardee, is donating $1,000.
Gotcha.
And so his first recipient is Deneen Carter, and she's a junior going into her senior year at University of Michigan. She's
Blue.
vice president of the undergraduate chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. So, and she is just so happy that this will take her through her senior year. We also have a young man named Deviante Dancy from Southeastern High School. One of the criteria is that they had to have at least a 3.0 or above, and each of the recipients this year are in the 3.3, 3.4 category. Deviante is continuing his education at WC3, and he wants to be an engineer. And all of these are first-generation college-bound students. Brianna Holloway from Cass Tech, Tasneem, who's going to Michigan State University, and Tasneem Sheikh is a sophomore at Oakland University. She said, look, I got a $6,000 loan.
Yes.
And she said, I'm putting this $1,000 on that loan. So each certainly are very grateful for this award.
But look, this is the Detroit Sports Zone. Mike, these aren't athletes that are getting the scholarships.
No, but once again, to whom much is given, much is required. I would dare say everyone who has come through, either as an inductee or as a person on the board, has been coached, has been pastored, has been taught, you know, and so the opportunity to give back is foremost in all our minds, because none of us can make it in the world by ourselves. And so as a team, we come together, and scholarships is a ship that will take these students to their end goal, which is graduation and their career choice.
Right, and not just students who are in athletics.
Not just for it's wide
Yeah,
open. And we send that application out, and these young people applied, and then we determine who would best be the person to be selected for that.
Gotcha. So let's talk really quickly about the Hall of Fame, this year's Hall of Fame people. Drum roll, please.
Marquita Aldridge Woods out of Martin Luther King High School played in the WNBA. Jim Bibbs, the first black coach at Michigan State University. Gilbert Brown, an all-state Kansas, all-academic, all-Big 8 conference, Green Bay Packers Super Bowl winning championship ring bearing.
Go ahead.
Okay. Johnny Davis, Murray Wright, All-State, All-American, voted one of the top 10 players ever in the PSL. University of Dayton, 11 years as an NBA player, and in the last 20 years, he's been a coach. David Smokey Gaines, legendary Lemoyne Owens player out of Detroit Northeastern, Harlem Globetrotter, coach at the University of Detroit, Michigan, and San Diego State. Sammy G, probably the greatest athlete in Detroit history, according to Will Robinson. Tommy Hearns, Northeastern, 8 world boxing titles, 6 different classes.
Right.
Ronnie Phillips, a principal, but initially he was a half miler at Illinois by way of Denby. And George Perlis, Western, All City, U.S. Army, Michigan State, and 2-time Super Bowl winning assistant coach. And last but not least, a favorite of many, golf guru, Dr. Robert Sims.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. There you have it. Well, it takes place, what's the date? September 15th?
Saturday, September.
Next
There you go.
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Right.
And this
Wonderful.
year's event is definitely
Thank
going to
you.
be a very strong event.
I bet it is.
Right.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming. That was great. And good luck.